Hello students, welcome to this online course of Strength of Materials. So in the previous lecture we have discussed some more questions about the temperature stresses, and we have seen about the yielding and non-yielding supports. So let us try to move forward, and this is one more like indeterminate problem. Let us try how we are going to do so. So the question is stating a rigid rod ABC which is hinged at point A. You can see this is a hinge support. So this is a hinge support. You can see this hinge here, point A is attached to a brass bar BD. So here you can see this is BD, which is made up of brass, and a steel bar CE. So here this is steel bar CE. Now the temperature of the steel bar is increased by how much? 40 degrees Celsius, and the brass bar is lowered by 40 degrees Celsius. So whatever was the temperature before, so the steel bar temperature was raised, that means increased, and there is a decrement of 40 degrees Celsius in brass bar. Now determine the normal stresses in the steel and the brass bar. So steel properties and brass properties are given here in this form. So ES is 202 and EB is 92, and correspondingly alpha is also given. So let us see how we are going to approach this problem. So first thing first, after this we have increased temperature here, so this point will try to come here, somewhere here, and for this material we have decreased the temperature, so it will get shortened. So this bar will try to attain this type of uh, orientation. It will orient itself in this direction. So if like this increment and this increment are in a particular ratio that we will find from the similar triangle, if they are in like well proportion, then there will be no stress will be zero. When the stress is going to come, when we are not allowing this much deformation in both the bars. Okay, so first thing we have to check the increase in steel and decrement in brass. If they are in a proportion of how much? 4 by 9. Then sir, how this 4 by 9 is coming? Because this is 4 and this is 9. So in similar triangle, if we'll take the ratio of the deflections, so it should be in this ratio. If they are not in this ratio, 4 by 9 or 9 by 4, whatever you are going to take, like if you are taking steel first, then it will become as 9 by 4. So if this ratio is non maintained, that means there will be temperature stresses. Okay, so first step, you should check the deflection for like these type of problems. So let us see how we are going to deal with this. So corresponding area we have written and corresponding temperature we have written here. Now, so the expansion in steel is coming out to be 0.23 mm and contraction is 0.48 mm. Okay, so this sign is not necessary. You must know how, like what does this mean. If temperature is been decreased, that means it will contract and it is coming out to be 0.48 mm. Now directly I can see this is almost 2 times. Okay, 2 point something, like whatever is coming out to be, we will see. So clearly it is not 9 by 4 or 4 by 9. It is not this, and this is 2.25. So certainly it is not close to this thing. So that means the temperature stresses will come into picture. So from geometric point of view, so as I have told you how this point will come down, and this will also come down from certain point. So let us say delta S is the deflection in steel bar and delta B deformation in bronze bar. Sorry, this is brass or bronze, whatever is there, it doesn't matter. We should get the idea how we are going to approach the problem. So as rod ABC is rigid and the steel bar expands, whereas the brass bar contracts. This is brass actually. So no temperature stresses are developed if this ratio is maintained, that is 2.25, or delta S would be 2.25 times this. Delta S should be 2.25 times of delta B. Then the bar will there is no stress in the bar. Okay, this means that if the contraction of the brass bar is 0.48 mm, the extension of the steel bar must be 1.08. How it is coming? Multiply this by 2.25. Have no temperature, but we have seen like steel is having expansion of 0.23 only. So stresses are going to come into picture. We have to calculate the stresses. However, the extension of steel bar is only 0.3 mm, which indicates that the final position of the rigid bar will be such that the contraction of the steel bar is lesser than 0.48 mm and the extension of the steel bar is more than 0.23 mm. So as in the previous question also we have seen, like steel, this arrangement is not allowing steel to expand by 0.23 mm, and it will also not allow the brass bar to, like the contraction is brass bar should be 0.48. okay, so let us move further, and now let us assume that the extension in net extension after the effect of stresses, temperature stresses, which we are going to take care, is delta S dash and delta B dash. These are the like the final expansion. So by compatibility equation, this has to be satisfied. Okay, because it is geometry. This is coming from geometrical point of view. There is no temperature or nothing stress, no stresses are involved. So this has to be satisfied by geometrical consideration. So now let us try to write delta S dash. So as we have seen that the steel will have the expansion of more than 0.23. That means this stress is going to be tensile. So it will further add the expansion. Okay, and this stress will be like compressive. So it will reduce the final compression of the brass bar. So this is our compatibility equation. Okay, so you can see from here, like this thing should be equal to, this is our main equation. Okay, so after putting all the values, this we have already calculated, this is 0.48, put the value sigma S and sigma B, and we have to find a relation between sigma S and sigma B. So finally we are getting, after putting all the values, and just you can take like finally after simplifying, we are getting the stress in steel should be this 343.25 to 0.4 minus 5.928 times sigma P. Now first equation is compatibility equation. Second equation is what? The moment equation. Like from equilibrium point of view we are going to calculate. Now let us see, PV is the force corresponding to sigma B and PS is the force corresponding to sigma S, which is generated in the bar. So by taking the moment, let me just show you here, not in this, in the first diagram. So this is 400 and this is 900. So the PS will be multiplied by 900 and this PB will be and one more thing, this is like this, the direction is opposite. So PS into 900 minus PB into 400 will be equal to 0. Okay, so take this equation, and finally you are getting one more relation, which is sigma B is 1.5 times sigma S after putting all the values. So PB and PS can be written as sigma B into AB. This PB will be sigma B into AB and this PS will be sigma S into AS. Put all the values are given. So finally, so we are having two equations and two unknowns. So the problem is solved. Put the values here. Sigma S is coming out to be 34.71 and sigma B is coming out to be 52.07. So in this way you can proceed these types of problems. So if you are having any doubt, you can anytime ask me. If you are like, try to solve this problem without seeing this solution. Once go through this video, pause it, again try to solve it, and if you are having still some problem, refer the video. After, if video is not able to clear you doubt, then you can ask me. Now let us, we have like left this topic, how the bars are going to elongate if they are under only self weight. So in the previous topics, for calculation of like this due to axial load, we have neglected the weight of the bar. Now if only a weight is acting, so let us consider a rectangular bar which is hanging freely under its own weight as shown in the figure. So you can see this is the bar and it is only acting by its weight. Okay, so W is unit weight per unit volume. Okay, so here area is given, W, small w is weight per unit volume. That means W will be, if capital W is total weight divided by volume, okay, or area into length. So W is weight of the whole bar, that is W into A into L. A into L is volume of this bar. Now let us, if we want to have, because the weight, this is having lesser weight than this bar of the weight, this part of the bar, so that means the weight is changing. If we are changing the section, the weight will change. So weight is not constant. That means we have to take the help of calculus, or we have to integrate. We have to first take, like for a small element, what is going to happen. For a small element, the weight will be same, because the strip is very small, infinitesimally small. So we have considered a delta x strip, and we are going to calculate the deflection of that portion, and we will integrate from 0 to L, then we will get the final value. Now we have considered this, so this is the small deflection of this bar, this portion. So that means if we are going to calculate, so this equation is still valid. Wx is weight of that small section, delta x is the length upon AE, so this will be valid. Now put all the values, so A will get cancelled out, and finally you are getting this W into x into del x by E. Just integrate this from 0 to L, from here you can see, and finally you will get WL upon 2E. That means if the W weight is acting here, okay, so this self weight is just exactly half of it. So the deformation of the bar under its own weight is equal to half the deformation due to direct load, equal to weight of the body applied at the lower end. So this result can be obtained in other manner also. Let me just show you how you can directly get this WL by 2E. So if this is our bar, okay, so what we are telling that only, sorry, this will not be here. So only weight is acting. So if we want to check, weight will be acting somewhere, not somewhere, exactly at the CG, center of gravity. So this is L by 2, this is L by 2. So if we want to write the equation for this portion, there is no weight, so deflection will be 0. Plus for this bar, this is the axial load W, so W by AE into length will how much, L by 2, so WL by 2E. So this is one of the approaches, but we will be following this integral approach. Clear? Now this was the rectangular bar, so cross section area was constant. Now what if we are having a conical bar? How we are going to deal with that? The problem here is the area is also not constant and area is also changing. Okay, now the same, we are considering a hanging bar which is under its own weight. Area is given, W is given, capital W is total weight, Wx is weight of the bar below that section. Now it will be reduced by 1 by 3. So for cone, you can you know that volume is 1 by 3 of the cylinder. So from there it is coming out to be like this factor 3 is coming. So if you will see, everything will be divided by 3, because the whole equation is same. So the deformation of the bar under its own weight is equal to 1/3 of the deformation due to direct load, equal to weight of the rectangular section applied at the lower end. So it is 1 by 3 times of what we were getting. Now let us try to solve this problem. So a steel bar wire 8 mm diameter is used to lift a weight of 1.5 kilonewton at its lowest end. The density of the material is given something like 8000 kg per meter cube. We have to determine the elongation of the wire. So in the previous questions, this density of the material was not mentioned. You just can refer, this density was not mentioned, so we used to take it as 0. Now it is mentioned, then that means we have to take the self weight into consideration. So there will be 2 delta 1 plus delta 2. So this is due to weight, this is due to load. So now this problem becomes very easy. Everything is given. So elongation of the bar will be equal to this equation you can follow. Elongation due to load plus elongation due to self weight. So this factor 2 should be remembered because this is WL by 2. Put all the values here, you will get 16.47. So this was all about self weight. Now let us see a different problem. A vertical tie bar is used to withstand a uniform tensile stress of 30 megapascal throughout its length. Determine the diameter of the section at a point 6 meter above the section where the diameter is 30 mm. Density of bar is given as something like 7500 kg per meter cube. Now what is special about this problem? It is saying that the uniform tensile stress. Okay, if some like this is the vertical bar. Clear? Now if I am having like check from here, this means sigma will be some sigma x is there, okay, at x. Now if I'm cutting here, let us say y, so this is sigma y. Now this sigma x and sigma y will not be same. Why? Because weight has increased. Like if it is w, this is some delta w. If this is area, so area is same. So sigma x is what? W by a, but sigma y is what? W plus delta w by a. So this is not uniform, but what we need is uniform stress. Wherever we are checking, this sigma should not be changed, it should be maintained as 30 MPa. So you can think of how we can achieve this type of condition. Like, let me just show you. So at every section weight is increasing, so that means the area should decrease. So if we are having cross section area A here, so here A should be lesser than A naught. Clear? So this means something like this area will be reducing gradually. So we will try to solve what this curve will be. Okay, so let us like check how we are going to do that. So consider a small element at a distance x from the bottom. So this orientation can be either way. So from bottom also you can fix. You can just take the mirror image of this and the result will be same. So at distance x, and x plus dx will be area, that is a plus dA. Clear? So at x area is a, at dx plus a area is a plus dA. Weight is weight per volume unit of var. Now the stress is same, but we have to just understand this thing. Okay, so at bottom surface there is sigma, at top surface there is sigma is same, and area is changing, but on this is also going to act the effect of self weight. So we have to write the force balance equation, that will be sigma a plus dA is equal to sigma a plus w a into dx. After like simplifying, you will get sigma into dA is equal to w a dx. So take the area and x, both are variable, so we have separated the variables, and finally we will get log a plus is equal to w by sigma into x plus c. So this is the equation of this curve. Okay, now at x is equal to 0, at this point let us say area is known as small a. Okay, the cross section is circular, so if diameter is known, area can be calculated. put the value, you will get C as log natural log A. Put the values here and you will get how this area is going to vary. So area is going to vary as A times the known area times E raised to power Wx by sigma. W is the density, x is the distance wherever you want to calculate, and sigma is the constant uniform stress. Now we are having the formula. We can just put the values here. So we need to determine the diameter. Okay, so x is given as 6, this is mm, sorry, this is not meter, this is mm. Put all the values. So area is pi by 4 d square, so pi by 4 here both side we have cancelled, so d square is small d square. E raised to power, this is w, this is x, this is sigma. After calculation you will get 30.22 mm. Okay, so this was all for today. In the next lecture we will be seeing some more problems, and I will try to finish this chapter in the next chapter. So this was all for today. Thank you.